think so.
We are rolling.
We are rolling. I want to welcome everyone to today's working session of the Rockland Board of Sewer Commissioners. This meeting is being taped for playback later on YouTube. The items on the agenda are those anticipated by the chairs. Other items not listed may be discussed to the extent permissible by law. That'll take a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open the meeting.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And the session's a yes. First things first, we had the bid opening on the generator yesterday for the HVAC work. No one bid. What that means, and from my interpretation, it means where that's a sub work. The electrical sub work is also being bid on. That's due July 16th. And if there's also a no bid, that means the contractor can pick their own
Contractor.
subcontractor.
That's weird, huh?
So if there's no bids for the HVAC and electrical, the contractor.
If there's no bid on the HVAC and the generator, then
Excuse me,
the contractor can.
that answers your question, I printed it for you for the meeting.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Got it.
Yep, is correct. So, let me see what else. Okay, we haven't, as far as Rick, I'm just taking care of loose ends here. As far as Rick goes, Megan did not show up Monday because she had not received her offer letter from Veolia. She came in yesterday for about an hour and a half, still had not received her offer letter and left. She's on vacation now at a wedding in Tennessee. She's due here Monday. I had a call into Mike Burke, the VP of Veolia, and we were gonna meet today, and I said I prefer to meet when Megan's here. So Rick's last day is Friday.
Okay.
While I'm thinking of it for Rick, what I would like to do is, I would like to go up to Rockland Athletic Supply and get him a plaque, recognizing his 26 years of service here, and charge the sewer commission for that.
Yep.
Do I have a vote of approval for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I will make arrangements tomorrow and I'll get him back here to do that.
We can do that, no problem?
Huh?
Can we do that, no problem?
Yeah.
One other note I wanna make, yesterday, the generator was delivered Tuesday.
Where is this?
It's out back by the clarators if you wanna take a look at it. Evidently, the feud with Dave is continuing. He's informed some people down here that he will no longer be assisting the Rockland Sewer Department or the Park Department on any requests. I'm not making this public record yet.
Oh, you should me too. Give me it.
Okay, that copy's your Dan. I sent that to Doug today. So that's just for your own notification later on.
Okay.
It is what it is. I mean,
That's
I
right.
made my point very
Moving on.
clear, and if you guys take exception to that, please let me know before I make that public record.
Okay.
But
You
if
make
he's
it
not
public.
gonna, if he's not gonna assist us in any manner, then I'm gonna adjust the fees, recommend we adjust the fees to pay for those costs accordingly.
Mhm.
I'll skip over the AMP project, cause Sherry, you can update us on that, but the South Weymouth Naval Air Station.
Before we get into that, are we ready to approve minutes?
Oh, yes, I didn't write the dates down, if you
Okay,
did.
I have dates.
Okay, I've
Okay.
read them, have you read them?
I looked at it.
Okay.
The whole book.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes, or you make the
Let me
motion.
make the motion. Motion to approve minutes from January 3rd, 9, 17th, and 30th, February 20th, March 7, 12, 19, April 2nd, 5, 17, 30th, and May 9, 13, 23, and 30.
I make the
Wasn't there
motion.
one in June?
These are all, no,
Was
I
it-
do not have June yet.
No, I thought there was one in there in June, you said?
No,
Okay.
these are all
I make the
working
motion.
sessions.
Okay, I have a A motion and a second. All in favor, Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Minutes are accepted.
Yay. Get those published.
Okay, I wanna jump over the AMP, so, for just a second. South Weymouth Naval Air Station, they have filed their supplemental environmental report and impact statement. From what I read, I sent you out sections that refer to the Rockland Sewer Department. And it appears that they are now going with septic on the Rockland side until we have the time to get, excess flow removed from the system. I have not heard any more on their $80,000 offer to do smoke testing. What I've asked Weston Sampson to do was to supply me with the scope of work to conduct smoke testing in two formats. One, minus the $80,000 that they first offered to contribute, and B, what it would cost us to pay for that scope as we offered to the base. I have not heard back from Bob Galvin on their attorney's response of what the base expects for their monies that they're contributing us.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be leery taking $80,000 or $100,000 from them until we have something in writing saying what's entitled to that.
I mean, they said on the septic, there'd be over 1 million gallons of,
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost 1 million
What they
gallons.
Yes.
claim,
1,000,001, 1,000,002.
Does that have to be approved by?
I think, well, okay, here's
Somebody?
my question, Sam, I just read it.
I went
What
through
they
it.
were going to do is their flow, number one, I don't know if the Navy will allow it,
Hmm.
but the numbers that they're talking is like 1.6 million.
And then
But the question I have is that flow will go into the groundwater into Old Swamp River and towards French's Stream, and I don't know if the EPA will allow that, where we're already discharging to French's Stream, so, I mean, as far as that, we're out of the loop, but,
Right,
yes,
you know, it just gives us the time, if they wanna do the smoke testing this year, great, if not, we have it on tap for next year, and it gives us that time to come up with a good sound program with public.
you're talking a lot of money to put a septic system in over there. One
Well,
house-
they'd be,
As long
I
as-
imagine they would charge the individual homeowner as they build them to put the septic system in, and that is totally up to the Board of Health, it's nothing to do with us.
I mean, each
is that how it
unit,
works?
Each unit would have their
Yeah,
own
yeah,
individual
Septic,
septic system.
septic.
I mean, I see them down in Kingston, they run like sewer down to a septic system.
To one big.
But the way
Yes.
I'm reading it,
Yes.
the way I read that is
Is it gonna be individual?
hold on, where did it? Wastewater generated from the Rockland portion of the base will have individual on-site septic systems. That means resident individual homes,
Per house, yeah.
so that's up to the Board of Health.
Okay.
Sherry, it's up to you on the AMP grant and where we stand from that, and we might as well segue right into your,
So we had a conference call this week with Kate from Environmental Partners. And what I wanted to do was just understand the process of the reimbursement, submittals and things like that. So Rick, I think Rick jumped in on the phone call, Christian was there, offered some information, Robin was there, so she understands the filing. So we have collected the hours from May and June, and they're ready to be submitted to them. And then a percentage is reimbursed to us.
okay, Robin had a question for me yesterday regarding Michael Buckley's hours.
They go in there, yep.
Okay, I'm assuming there was,
And I'll double check with her, cause we did talk about that.
okay, 40 hours or whatever, I'll put in 40 hours a week, if you're there the week.
Oh,
Or the
for
days they work.
The
Days
days
they work, 8 hours.
I did not know what days he worked, but I thought.
Any
oh,
day
it was with
any
them,
day they
so-
were out there,
Yeah,
he works, and
Okay.
that'd be 8 hours.
so I will check with Robin, make sure she does that as well. So. Like on-site hours. Christian had turned in, an invoice for his hours,
Yes.
My only comment is that he marked it as year 3 I&I, and it's
I
not,
think we
it's
should put-
A&P.
I think we should put that on the superintendent's salary.
And that is where we paid it from.
Okay,
I just
okay.
want the invoice to read properly.
Okay, yep.
going
I,
forward, so.
do you wanna say I&I, or, does that
No,
should be?
it should be asset management.
asset
plan.
management, yes.
Yes, it's totally separate.
All right, I would
from the
change that.
Okay, who will talk with Christian, cause I expect some more.
Christian will be off tomorrow. He's taking the grade 3 test.
Mhm. So I'll just let Robin know?
Hmm?
So I'll just ask Robin to address it when she sees him?
Yes, I
Okay.
would.
Alright, that's easy.
Did Mr. Taylor send the letter, or just?
That's just for you to read that later, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
So for the asset management plan, the way it works is that we submit the hours and get credit for that. Kate Russo submits invoicing, we get reimbursement, partial reimbursement for that. I've got the split worked out, I understand what they're doing. The funds all go into one account, and at the end of the project, the reimbursement is split between sewer and highway. So the only thing is, I've asked Robin to reach out with Scott and find out, where that account is.
Okay, I have a question for you. The times that we had, Weston Sampson meet with them,
Mm-hmm.
is that applicable?
No, that is not eligible, they're paid contractors. Veolia is eligible because they're considered our sewer department staff.
Okay, I understand.
So that's it for A&P.
Okay.
Christian thinks that he can wrap up the sewer portion in the next couple of days.
Yeah, he's informed me of that. There's also, the fallout from that will be some, lines that will need to be addressed to be jetted and vacked after that. That's gonna be potential problems, and we might as well nip them now.
Yeah.
We'll do that in next year's budget.
Also, Christian suggested a couple of locations for them to go and look at and catch, Pond Street manholes.
That's the same
Stuff
thing.
like that.
That's what
Yep.
I'm talking about.
Yep. My only question is to make sure that we get our 50% of the hours in, and if they're finished, I'm not sure where we're gonna go with that.
All right.
Do we wanna look at any hotspot drainage
I could
Places.
come up with plenty of other projects if you want.
for them
make
to look at? Yeah,
yeah.
cause it's strictly the drainage and manholes.
I could
Okay,
come up with plenty of others.
okay. Alright. That's asset management.
While we're, just on the subject of projects, ancillary note is that, I met today with, Manzeller and approved their connection. I inspected it and
They
that was
were
done.
already approved.
Yeah, they were approved, but I just inspected the sewer
Oh,
layout.
okay.
I have
They need to
also,
pay us.
no, I think they paid us.
Alright, I'll
They
check
paid,
with
check
Robin.
with Robin.
Okay.
They picked up their permit the other day, so I assume they paid.
Oh, great, alright.
One thing I also want to mention for your records
Stay on
is
that,
that, I'll wait till you're done.
Okay. Alright. Go.
Okay, given the complexity of the, not really complexity, but the amount of work that's gonna be done at Holy Family, I've asked Pat Brennan to oversee that sewer part of it, as well as, 320 Concord Street, where that is a 40B.
Okay,
He is going to do that, and he is going to bill planning. So we will not see a bill for that.
oh, good. So what I have is a draft of the revised development wait list.
Okay, is that what Robin printed out for you?
Yes. No. No, that is not what Robin printed.
Okay, hold on. That is
That-
not this.
Nope, these are strictly our building wait
Okay.
list.
So that
So we have
is
Manzella on it.
this.
Yes. And we had voted, oops, I'm gonna change the date. We voted at our last meeting to approve both Josh Gray and Holy Family.
Yes.
In queue for the waitlist approval, Harmon Golf, did they go septic or no?
No, they haven't
They're
made the
still on?
decision. I
Okay.
contacted Kayla, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her last name. She's the attorney for Sullivan, who represents Harmon Golf Course. and I told them they were next on the list for the waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
They had asked me, how long would it be, and I said it depends on our I&I efforts this year. I said it will not be probably this calendar fiscal year. I did get a call on another potential project, from McSherry Brothers. I said when they have a print together and a plan, I guess they're going before planning now. I said, once planning gets it, they'll be submitting it to us and we'll get you on the list.
Okay.
I did send them a copy of our waiting list and I did send them a copy of the moratorium.
Excellent. The pending board review, should it be added there? Cause this is usually after they've been through.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait, I think we should wait, it's up to you guys. I would wait to move in anything now on the waiting list until we get through the next round, or at least at a minimum, till we see the report from Weston Sampson on what they found for I&I.
Okay, I agree.
How much do we owe?
We owe roughly, right now, I think 61,000. We owe 61,600 gallons. So that'll get us caught up. So that's, hopefully they're gonna find that. They got 28,000 that they identified in zones 6 and 11. Now they had just completed 9 and 13. There's supposed to be another 250,000, so 20% of that. If we can get out 100,000 or 75,000 gallons, it may be worth going after.
Yeah. I agree.
But we still have that pipe on Hingham Street.
How
that
much
we
are
have
we
to-
losing there?
I don't know, but there is a substantial run behind that.
Yeah. Yes, there is.
So on that 61,000, can you give me the breakdown on that? You can just email it, because the wait list says,
Okay, but you gotta remember, okay, the
Yeah.
breakdown is, okay.
so what I'm getting at is that we had started, and I don't have it with me, but we had started a bank for the
Right.
I&I, and I just wanna make sure that's up to date.
Okay, I can give you that or I can send it to you, because
Yeah.
right now it's just, Manzella, Concord, and Holy Family. Now, but you gotta remember, Dyer and 365's flow, we still haven't seen yet.
I know.
And this is one of the first 2 days we've been under 2 million gallons a day.
What happened?
I don't know,
Wow,
but we've been dry.
yay.
It's been raining too.
Yeah, it's been fairly dry, so.
Alright. Okay, I will correct this wait list and have it ready for the next session.
Okay,
so
and
we
I
can
will
vote and
let
get
you
it on
know.
this website.
I don't, like I said, I've got nothing else to add to that.
Okay.
Who else is getting ready to connect? Was it Concord, was it VFW Parkway? Yep,
Yeah,
okay, that's under the 660, okay. Under the 440.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so we can vote on this next week, and I can
Okay.
clean it up.
Okay, what we do need to vote on is the 10% annual user fee increase. If you recall, the rate study by Weston Sampson indicated that we have to go up 10% each year
Mhm.
to meet our goal, possibly more. But right now, I'd like to make a motion that we increase our current user fees 10%
Second,
as requested in the rate study. I have a motion, I have a second, all in favor,
Yes,
Mr. DeRoss?
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
yes,
And Mr. Hashion's a yes. If you could let Robin know that we voted on that. The other thing I was wondering if you've given any more thought to on the development fees.
I did.
If you recall, what I wanted to do is everything under 440, instead of $20 a gallon, go to $25 a gallon. And anything larger than that, $30 a gallon. I also think we should go up on the remediation fee from $661 to, $8.
We have to do it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, then what I will do is I'll bring that up for, vote at the July meeting. So 25 for less than 440.
Yeah.
30 for greater than 440. And $8 per gal, maintenance and improvement, whatever that is.
Now wait a minute, the sewer repair and maintenance, that's the 25 and 30,
Right,
and the $8 is the I&I removal. For the sewer repair and maintenance, we're just posting that to our development account,
right,
rather than trying to juggle extra
Right.
accounts. Do we have to wait for the July monthly? Cause now that you've just pushed it 2 months out, you've pushed it 2 months out to be effective.
I see what you mean.
Okay, what I wanna say is, what I want us to consider is the financial impact of those on our pending list. That would have a significant financial impact on them.
Well, okay, maybe I miss, when is the resident usage fee? That's what I was referring to. When are we, that's voted and approved, correct?
Right, that's voted and approved, that's
Okay.
July 1.
All right, then, yeah, I'm okay with waiting for July.
Okay, because everyone, they had ample notice of it, the thing is
Right.
up on there.
So that's
We did a
effective
presentation.
July 1st.
But the fees I want you to consider is it would have a radical effect on accounts like the only three that are on there are Harmon, 258 Union, and Shingle Mill.
Right,
And I'll have, now,
Mm.
those accounts, especially Shingle Mill, is already subject to a significant fee over what they were originally charged. Now, it doesn't, but I don't know if we said, well, they already came into us, say anyone who goes up now, or how do we wanna work that? That's what I think we have to be careful in how we do.
so,
I mean, if it's been in the, you said it yourself, if there's more than 2 years, they should be dropped from the.
Well, they are, but you gotta
And-
remember, those on
and-
that list have not been 2 years yet.
yes, but they're also have not received a final
They have
approval.
that.
Correct.
And the
That's right.
final approval
Is
is when the
they're
fees
approved.
Yes.
are, whatever fees are in effect at the time of the final approval is
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
But do we wanna give them a grace period, or do we wanna say,
Become-
I don't know, that's something that's good, cause you're talking a significant financial impact on these people.
They don't have to do the job.
No, I agree, but it's a matter of how we wanna handle that.
Do any of these people have a tentative dig date, start date?
I would say,
No.
the only one that might, it'd be Harmon.
But we haven't heard anything from them?
I could reach out to them individually and say, look, we're looking at a significant fee increase.
They know.
Do you have project-ready plans? Now, the only three I would reach out to with that statement would be the three on the waiting list,
Correct,
on the pending list.
correct,
And they would move up to the waiting list. I'd move with the volume we're looking at for that flow, I'd move them up one at a time till the flow is
Oh, yeah.
available. But would have to grandfather them in at fees at that time. And say, okay, again, as Dan said, it's good for 2 years. Now, let's take,
Yeah.
for example, Shingle Mill. No one wants to talk about Shingle Mill, but Shingle Mill's approval date by the zoning board of appeals was October 23rd of 23.
23, I thought it was 22.
23,
22?
3,
23. So that means they would have to come with a final drawing to us
Next year.
by 25, October 25.
right.
So
But the date of the final approval is the fees that are in effect at that time.
at that time, correct.
Right,
So you.
But we'd have to grandfather them in for the fees that are right now.
why,
No, because they have no.
why? No,
No, when they apply.
planning board approved them, we haven't seen final.
We haven't approved.
Okay, I'm leading up to you, just do me a favor, I want you to think it over, and I'll ask that question at the July meeting, and one of you can make the motion, I'll support you, but I wanna make sure we think this one out. Now, do you
Well,
want?
I understand, because we don't want to discourage the developers either.
Correct. But I think we
It's a
gotta
valid
let them
point.
know and do what do.
But,
And, you know, with all
But-
respect to them, say, look, we are talking about a significant fee increase.
right, but when I walked in here, part of the problem was that people were getting a guaranteed fee and not doing anything
Right,
for
those
3
fees
years,
they
and
have-
then we got in the hole.
Right,
So if you
They
If you
get
grandfather them in, we're doing the same thing again.
we do the
correct,
same
you're
thing.
correct, okay, you're right,
Yep.
Look, I'm just trying to,
I
I
know,
wanna make sure we
I
have
understand
a
your point.
dialogue on this.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking, like, do they have a start date? Are they close?
Okay,
I mean,
do you, I'm asking you now, and we're on tape, do you think I should notify them in
Yeah.
writing?
no, they know.
Well,
look
they
at
would
these
not be,
tapes.
They would not know necessarily,
No,
then, cause
they
there's nothing
wouldn't.
posted.
yeah,
And
no,
they don't watch these
they don't watch
meetings.
these, and they would not be aware of the fee increases.
You can put on a
I
website.
think,
I would say I would like to put a blanket letter, not name an individual project, and just say,
can we just ask for a status update on their project?
I could do that.
I mean, that's a reasonable request. You've been on
Okay,
our
do I
wait list
mention that
since
we are-
last
we are
year. Fees are being
Discussing a
discussed.
significant fee increase,
Yeah.
and we'd like to know a status
Yeah.
of your project before we vote on
Right.
such.
Right, and
Yeah.
then, you know, if they're looking at 60 or 90 days, then maybe they get grandfathered. But if they're not even
Like-
close,
Like this Concord Street up here, the 40B and 140 feet, and 3 condos.
We gave him approval,
Yeah,
he's
but
approved.
he
320.
hasn't done nothing.
Right,
it's a, but we've given him approval, nothing's been done, he's got 2 years to break ground.
So when was his approval date? What?
he was in July of 22.
So next year, if he's not broken ground by
Wait a
next
minute.
year.
Oh, no,
This
we
year.
gave him final approval to move up to the approved list this year with Manzella Court.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
How's that other development going in the backwoods there?
They haven't, they're completed, they have not discharged any flow yet. Manzella, Dyer Street has sold, I believe, 5 or 6 of the 8 units. And again, we have not seen their flow as yet either.
Now they building another 1 or 2 buildings like that.
They were talking about 2 more buildings, but I don't think he has the money. And even if he does, he has to come back, that's a separate permit,
I mean, the pipes coming out, the sewer pipes coming out of the ground.
that's a separate permit, he was not approved for.
Yeah, oh, I didn't know that.
No.
But the people up there are, whoa.
So then I will send, I'll tell you what, next week's the 4th, so we're gonna blow that off.
Yeah, but now, some of these people are waiting to be approved are in court.
Yes, Shingle Mill is in court, I have not heard one thing, while we're talking about Shingle Mill, I know we can't debate it. I still have that request for information out, to Doug, who sent it to the attorneys, for information on sewer discussions that were held regarding Shingle Mill and the EPA, request for information and all that stuff. And I have not, I have a draft letter, a draft email on my computer that I was gonna send tomorrow after I discussed it with you guys, about saying this will be the 4th request we've had. We still haven't heard anything yet,
So it's
so.
probably tied up in
No.
litigation.
But I think,
Yeah.
while we're on the subject of meetings, I'd like to hold off until our July meeting,
Oh,
working sessions.
skip next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip next week and the week after,
I thought you were gonna have a cookout here for us.
unless something pops up. The only thing I could see popping up is the project manager,
Mhm.
if we don't have a project manager. Which, if we don't have a project manager, I'm gonna go after it for breach of contract.
Mm.
Who's the assistant?
Yeah.
The assistant is, Jesse, I'm not sure of his last name, but I don't think he's qualified to be project manager.
Not ready. I wanna go back to this wait list though, because I ratio for Harmon Golf is 191,000 gallons.
Yes,
I mean,
that's why I'm saying if we move anyone
had-
up,
yeah. I would hesitate to grandfather in if we get caught
yeah,
again with higher prices.
well, I know that, but again, that's why I'm
So-
saying that we gotta, before we move a vote
That's-
on this stuff, we gotta talk it through.
Yeah,
Because we're talking a lot of money.
The
that's
problem
right.
is the septic system is one thing, the sewer is much better because it goes
Right.
away.
Right,
But put
You know what I'm
your,
saying?
but
We're
put
doing
your,
them,
but
Right.
put yourself in the developer's,
so all right.
side now,
yeah,
money. I mean, nothing is cheap to build a development nowadays,
Oh, yeah.
and if I was a developer and I had a weigh sewer versus septic, if we go up, what we're talking about, that's a significant tip of the scales. Right now, they know the pricing they're looking at,
yeah.
and it's amenable to them. So I think we just put out and say, look,
Let's
if you're,
let's just ask for a status update
yeah,
and see
I'm
what we're
gonna ask
talking
for status
about.
upgrade.
We don't really even know what we're talking.
No, I say, well, look, we're
Expecting.
contemplating a significant fee increase, and we're inquiring to your status update, your project update status, because this will could impact your project. I'll make it short and simple.
Mhm.
What I will do, where we discuss it, it's not, sharing an opinion, what I'll do is I'll send the draft out to you guys. Look at the draft, mark it up, give it back to me, and I'll send it out.
I mean, I'm just I'm looking around what's for sale around here.
No?
Have to have it in the open meeting.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the property on Water Street there.
Then you know what, I make a motion that I'm allowed to notify those on the projects on the pending list for a status update. Simply a status update.
Yeah, let's, yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, and do I or do I not mention a potential fee increase?
Yes, you can say
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
Potential.
I made a motion to notify those projects on the pending list, requesting a project update pending a possible significant fee increase.
Yes.
I make a motion, we have a second.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ross makes a second. All in favor, Mr. Ross,
Yes.
Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. I'll write that letter up and send it out next week.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Shingle Mill, I'll notify Bob Galvin. And I have the other, I'll send it out I'll just make it generic, so I'm not singling one person out.
Yes.
What had to happen to that sign you were gonna put down there? Did you ever hear what happened to that sign?
Sign.
You would put electronic sign down?
Oh, no, I don't know, that's still in front
Oh,
of
the
planning.
billboard, I know.
That's still in front of planning.
But you were down a
Okay.
Okay, so I think
That's it.
project review,
All right, yeah. So, that is this. Did you get your?
Yep. Yeah, I got a copy, I got my copy.
Coming at you. I have an extra copy if you want it. So, this is kind of planning for the coming year. These are the projects that we have and expenses. And our budget. I also put in the revolving accounts for funds that we have.
I got some positive feedback on that ARPA thing you did, so I'll give you kudos for
Oh,
that, that
yeah?
was really good, yeah.
Oh, good, I meant, oh, I
Lot
haven't.
of people asked, commented on
Oh,
that.
I'm gonna send that
Maybe
too. I didn't
The way
send
you're
that to
doing
the
such a
select
good
board.
job, you may get a permanent job here.
You know what, do you wanna put that up on the, website?
No. And, I don't mind putting it up there, but the data changes,
Yeah,
so-
say, current update as of, I'll do that with the as of date.
Yeah, okay, that'd be good. That was as of the
If
17th.
anyone wants to reference it, they can reference it.
Okay. So the question at hand is how we're paying for the Hingham Street, the Smoke and Die, and now, you said what, another 300 for the generator?
Yeah, these are the things we do have to talk about, I mean,
Most of, if you look at this, where it says funds balance, that means that those projects are pretty well, we covered them.
Yeah.
We've got the funds set somewhere.
We don't for the generator though.
The generator, we have. I believe we were using money from revolving account, let's see, no, we do not, we're short 250 there. So that was short 250, and now you're saying there's another 300 on
No,
top.
I'm saying 300 in general, that I'm looking at a potential override. When
250
no one
short.
bid on the HVAC, that may be more than anticipated.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm saying 300,000.
Where's the AC?
So, we're looking at 750 for the generator,
Could be.
without the HVAC?
I'm saying the 350 may be real. 750 may be real.
Okay, so.
But there was 300,000 we didn't anticipate in that, that's why I
Well,
built
yeah,
that number
the
up.
250, yep. So we originally expected it to be 500,000, which is what we got from ARPA.
Okay,
And now we have the extra, which you're telling me is the electrical, right?
electrical's coming in, July 16th.
Yeah, we had 250 for the electrical and 100 on the HVAC.
Right. That 100 on
So-
the HVAC now, I'm thinking, no one bid on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we go with the developer, if he has to handle the sub, they may be able to eat some of the costs on that. That'd be right, Pierce. But if we don't, we have to have an idea by July meeting, if we're gonna need a special town meeting to allocate some funds out of, say, drainage or other.
Right, so my first suggestion is not to allocate funds out of our budget line.
Okay.
Because we're tight on the budget. Drainage, I mean, I just saw an email about manholes and.
Yep.
And with the situation with highway, I wouldn't touch that right now. So, the generator, so. The only place that I know of to get it is to pull it from our retained earnings as an article
Okay.
of special meeting.
I'll leave that up to you to worry about. I think we're, honestly, I think we're in decent shape for
It's
this
not
year.
bad, but these, unexpected
I mean,
increases is
I
what
mean, the
kills
price-
It's gonna be the unexpected, and I'll tell you, the claritator is not sounding good. Clarifier rather.
What do you mean not sounding good?
Well, they're having nickel dime mechanical problems
Oh,
that
okay.
increasingly. And not the claritator, I'm talking the clarifier.
Clarifiers, yeah, and we have 70 grand to nickel
Right.
dime it.
Right,
it's gonna be low as 70
but now
grand.
the big thing is, if we don't have.
Well, not for the full
Oh, no.
fixing, just to
Yeah,
keep
just
it going.
to keep it going, but the thing is too, that we have no income coming in next year that I can foresee,
Mhm.
unless Holy Family kicks in big time,
Yeah,
and even that's not that much. And we really can't take one of those bigger projects on with the numbers the way they are.
not because,
That would require a massive sit-down and approval from the EPA, which I'm not sure if we wanna go, cause if the clarifiers should die, then we're gonna need a big favor from them, then they could possibly say, okay, bring it in to get the money, but,
When are we gonna hear about that federal money?
I think it goes in August,
yeah, the appropriations process starts in August for the senators.
so I would say by
So,
November,
yeah.
November or January.
I mean, they just had a system failure up the North Shore.
Yeah, I also put in, for information from toxic use reduction,
Mhm.
the OIR, to see if we can get some funding from there. No, I think everything is pending on dropping our flow. I mean, I'm looking at the I control plan, and they wanted us to take immediate action, and immediate action they agreed on was infiltration. We're not finding the hit we hoped for yet. But I agree that the biggest flow would be inflow but that takes time to realize the investment. That's why they wanted us to go after the infiltration, to see what we could accomplish. But we are a year ahead of that plan.
So, inflow. What can we do to speed that up?
Well, that's all depends on what the scope of work comes in from Weston Sampson.
Okay.
Okay, now, if we get that scope, here's the way I understand it. The base wants to do, when I say the base, Tetra Tech, wants to do the investigation, the reporting, the whole 9 yards, all right? And they said they could do it for $80,000. That's great, but we have the final word on who does our work for us.
Mhm.
What I would like to do is to demonstrate consistency to the EPA in our reporting. More importantly, in the methodology we're using. And the methodology we're using is our approach to the collection system. Weston Sampson has laid that out. I'd rather have them follow it through. And Weston Sampson may be more, but we could contribute some to it. But as long as they contribute to the 80,000, all right? We could, if they contribute the 80,000, we could do it. But we'd have to pull the trigger on that no later than end of July, August. Now, I should have a scope of work from Weston Sampson today. If it looks like we're gonna pull the trigger, I'll call out an emergency working session. But then again, we gotta hear from the base that they will condemn the 80,000.
Right.
If we had
We
to
also
do that
need to-
smoke test on our own,
Yeah,
I think it would be $150,000.
okay.
But again, that's this public 30 days public notification. There's all kinds of meetings and
That's why, yeah.
it's a very, and we would not see results of that in FY '26. When I say results, flow reduction. Because once you identify that flow out of the private property, you're gonna go to the person and say, okay, you gotta fix
Okay.
it. They're gonna need time to
So-
get financing.
Oh, yeah. So, I know Allison, the town planner, is holding a session up at the library. She's got 3 sessions going for different
Mhm.
things. One of them concerns, water and sewer, and that would be a good place for her to start talking about sump pumps.
If she wants me to appear there, I will be more than happy to go up and talk to her about it.
But the problem with some pumps, they go up there, if they pump it out in the street, it's gonna stay out in the street because there's no drains
That's
on the
fine.
street.
If it's storm drain, because it's storm drain,
But
that's
then,
what,
yeah,
that's what
eventually
it's
gets.
intended.
That's if they have a storm drain.
Yeah, well.
right.
but-
If not, but even so, it would dissipate, but what they don't wanna do is illegal connections to the sewer, people
Yes.
Right, we
pumping
need to
into
get
their
it out
washing
of our-
machine.
We need to get it out of our
Or
plan.
people plumbed in, that have roof drains connected,
I know
older
that.
houses. You know, that's the thing, we're not gonna take some
In
pumps
s-
from
in
people,
some of the newer houses, they do it also.
not that we know of.
Well, what I'm saying is that if we can at least get her to say something,
Yeah, I'll
get the
tell you what,
conversation started, regardless of when we can actually do it.
I will call Allison as soon as we get out of here
Yeah,
and
if we
say,
can get the, because I think it needs to be in the public awareness that this is part of the problem. And if we don't talk about it now, when we come up and say, okay, you gotta fix this, that's gonna be the shocker.
okay, I will
If they
reach
know
out
it's
to Allison,
coming.
do you wanna reach out or you want me to?
Your choice, I'll check with her.
Alright, check
Let
with
me
Allison,
do that for you.
ask her if she would like me to be with her when she does those,
Yeah,
to mention some pumps and roof drains.
okay. The other thing we talked about was a do-it-yourself dye testing up on the main street. What do we think of that?
Dye testing would be, we don't have the resources to do that, Veolia doesn't have the resources to do that. Remember, Veolia does not have anything to do
Understood.
with the collection system. We'd have to contract for that. Dye testing was part of the original scope to the base in the the smoke and dye testing was gonna run $300,000.
I remember one time they used, remember the rubber duckies?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't, yeah, the little pills, they don't use
I mean,
it.
they used to throw them in the water
Yeah.
and you put dresses on them,
We still, they still have ping pong balls too.
yeah.
But, we can't afford to do both, I mean, smoke
No,
testing will give
I
us
just-
illegal roof drains, which I think is a huge contributor uptown.
Okay, that's my next question, so that's the smoke
I think it's a
testing.
huge contributor. What dye testing would do would be,
Is that a process that you can do separately? I mean, like, we say smoke and dye, but if we
you
just did
guys do it
smoke,
separately. You could smoke it, but there's a
what's that
cost.
cost? What's that?
The cost of the dye, and plus you gotta have separate, more indicators, more people out there. Time and labor.
You have to, you can dye it, but you still have to smoke it.
But it's, I think the smoke testing would give us a bigger boon. And the thing I like about, doing it the Weston Sampson method versus the base, Tetra Tech, the base, did not put in drone usage. You know, they're strictly doing sidewalk and looking up. I would rather have a drone up there
Certainly you can see it,
as they're
sure.
doing it.
There was a drone up there the day of the fireworks. Oh, it was.
Really?
Yeah, we were up by the, Rockland Savings, is that the one on the
Yeah,
hilltop there?
yeah.
Where they did all the, I said, look over there. There's a drone sitting there.
Yeah.
Got the lights on and everything else, just watch it.
Watch, remember, the, zip trip is Friday, those of you going up there,
Up where?
Who's going, no, you're going
up
up?
to, Memorial Park.
You going up?
I may go up for a little bit. Oh, no, I'm not, I'm going to Vermont.
I figured that.
So,
Did you figure out what it looks like?
Huh? No, I'm getting out of here early.
Did you figure out what it looks like?
Vermont, did you
Did you
forget?
figure what? Have you been up there this year yet?
I'm looking at my pig roast in August.
Oh,
Are you gonna invite people
I
up?
will
yeah, I
invite
know,
people.
I
You
know,
got a
your
camper?
coworkers.
You know, you get camping, tent, you're more than welcome to do.
Oh, okay.
I
Let
done-
me ask, Weston and Sampson and the I&I, when do we know when we're getting that report? Because
That
that's
report
kinda
is,
where-
that report is due the third week in July.
You gotta bring your own camper?
They're compiling the data now, they're doing the same, they have the same problem everyone else is the time of year, vacation times.
Yeah, okay. All right, because that is gonna make a decision on the Hingham Street.
Yes.
Unless we just, yeah, it's all kind of mixed up together.
Yep.
We have, all right, so smoke and dye is probably gonna be next year, but,
I would say
Let's keep
more than
talking.
likely next year, but it's, because it depends on the base, and we're
Yeah.
rushed now.
yeah. The only question I really had was the EPA administration order, we have to come up with an alternative options report.
We do, that is
Who's
part
doing
of,
that and how much?
that is in the hands of, Wright Pierce. That alternative options report is part of the, CWMP,
Mhm,
and it's what we intend to pursue for
mhm.
alternative options right now. The only alternative option we have on the table is groundwater discharge at Eston.
Mhm. Well, we have to prepare and submit it.
Yes, I will be doing
You
that.
think,
Okay,
I
all
will
right,
be
so I
doing
don't have
that.
to
you think
factor,
they're gonna give us the permission to use
No.
it?
so
That's
no
the truth.
cost,
Oh, I'll take honors for that.
no cost,
Make a note.
okay. And then we had, so I think, we're kind of okay here. I had a question so this, you used to have out something for clarifiers at 1.6 million.
We discussed clarifiers.
However,
Oh, we do have something for the signature here.
well, this is the 1.6 for design phase.
Yes, it is right here.
So the question is, how are we paying for that?
That's coming out of the loan.
That's coming out of the loan, okay.
Chris Kenny reviewed that and approved it.
And they approved it. Have we talked with Doug and Scott about that?
Yes.
Using the loan and all
They
that?
have all seen
And
it.
they're-
Robin's bringing this once we sign it.
And Doug and Scott signed off on it?
Yeah, they're signing up after we do.
What a nice.
Keep this with it, let me see, where's what treatment protocol, yeah.
So at this time, it's 300,000 for the generator that we are short, which, if we're gonna do a special article, I'd say do 400.
Mm-hmm. You all set?
I just looked in here a second. Sign right below you.
Yeah, either way, you know.
Okay.
Just nice pen. I get my pens for nothing.
I know, you're stealing from us.
No, I get them from the bank.
That's where I usually get mine.
Guys are a bunch of old dudes. I'll hold up.
The girl gives me the pen, she has a big pen she uses. Like the fancy pen she hands to me, yeah, you can have them.
Just for Robin.
Alright.
You going in there after this?
Yeah. I'm not going in there, I'm checking on these pages. What account, paid out of loan. Okay.
Water fleet,
That's it. Any projects going? What else? I think that's enough.
I wanna go back one more to that letter that I'm gonna send to
Is this my
the
copy?
vendors. Should I include their current fee schedule?
no, just don't, just tell them it could be an increase.
Or just reference, your project is, under the fees applicable as of,
April 1st.
okay, of this year, however,
Yeah.
based on,
Because I think they are already aware of what the
Yeah.
fees are, so no,
I think all but one is.
I
Who's that?
would hesitate,
Juvenile.
oh, I think they're aware.
You're aware.
I would hesitate to send
That's
them
a- that's
another
just-
document because I would not want that handed back saying, oh, but this is
No,
what you
no, I
said.
agree,
As of,
okay.
as of August 1st, fees will be changing.
We're looking at, we'll just say, what is the status? I just wanna get them, we are pending, we're discussing a fee increase. And then when we do it, hey, they're aware of it.
Is your copy?
No, that should be, what is that?
I don't know.
The top fee, if this is,
It's this one. It's the same as those, which we just signed.
that's the one going to town hall, I think this is sewer copy.
Okay, give that to Robin.
Why don't you give them both to her and let her figure out what she wants to do on
That's fine. All right, so no meeting next week,
it. No,
makes me happy.
we think we've taken care of accounting matters. Where do you stand on the senior clerk?
Oh, we have heard back, oh my God, her name just left my head, but she started,
Miss
yes,
Finn.
she's starting July 29th. She's got a
July
vac-
29th?
Yeah, she's got a vacation scheduled, so we could get her in early for a couple of days and then she'd go on vacation,
Yeah.
so just,
All right,
Robin was fine with it, so.
okay, unless there's anything else, with that, I'll take a motion in today's meeting.
Make a motion.
When's the next meeting's gonna be then, tentative, 2 weeks?
I'll say TBD,
Okay,
To be.
unless I hear from, Weston Sampson on that smoke testing. But if you would call Allison and task her if she needs me to give me enough notice and I'll be there.
I can tell you the date, if I can get on my phone.
You're 3 hours away.
There's 2 meetings, I think.
It's up at the library. I will tell you when it is. I think it's a wonderful idea.
I do.
Oh, you're right, 2 meetings. At 1 p.m., Thursday, June 27th, and Thursday, August 8th.
August 8th?
Yes.
All right.
These are topics: living with water. How does stormwater and stormwater runoff impact our water infrastructure? And what are some of the things you can do to help?
Okay, if she wants me there, I'll be there.
Okay, have them make that phone call. All right. Do we have a
We have a
We have
motion to end the meeting.
second, yep, end the meeting, I didn't.
I have a motion to end the meeting.
A motion,
I have a motion, you gotta go.
second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Mr. Ross, Ms. Valley?
Yes.
Chucky's a yes. Hey, you guys have a great Fourth.
Hey, you too.
I'm supposed to go to Lake Winnipesaukee, right?
Yeah.
So I said to my wife, you really wanna go?